ladies and gentlemen, I purchased an abandoned house that looks haunted, and I converted that house into a very nice luxury Airbnb that's now generating me $10,000 plus every single month. But before I get into that video, I want to mention that I'm doing a giveaway of $1,000 every single month. All you have to do is two very simple things. Number one, subscribe to the channel, and number two, just go to the videos on my channel that have the word giveaway on them, comment anything in that video, and almost on a monthly basis, I'll be picking somebody randomly from that comment section and I'll be giving you $1,000 cash. So not only are you going to get amazing content from the channel, but you're also going to be getting cash as an incentive to be part of the family as well. So make sure that you guys take advantage of that. Subscribe and then comment in those videos. Very simple. So it's February of 2022. I stumbled upon this very old, very abandoned, haunted looking property. I remember the first time I walked into this property, I was like, either I'm going to get stabbed by a homeless person or I'm going to get haunted by some sort of spirit, because I just felt like I've never been into a house, a property like that. It looked scary. But fast forward about a year and almost $500,000 later, I turned that scary, abandoned house that literally did not even have any walls in it into a 4,000 square foot contemporary modern luxury Airbnb. That's just a sneak peek of the before and after, so I'll have my editor add a montage or collage of the before and after videos of the property at the end of the video, so stay until the end to see that if you're here just for that. So the agenda in today's video is to discuss the background. Why did I even choose this property? This looks scary. Why was I interested in it? Number two, what was the renovation process like? How much did it cost me to fully renovate this property? Number three, why did I choose to convert this property into an Airbnb? Number four, I'm going to discuss what the Airbnb process is like. What's it like to convert a property into a fully furnished, fully functioning luxury Airbnb? And then finally, I'll discuss what the Airbnb numbers are. How is this property generating me $10,000 plus every single month? So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So why did I choose this property? The reason why I chose this property is because as an investor, when you want to go into a deal, into a property, as amazing as it is to be able to walk into a brand new home that's already fixed, that needs no work, if you walk into a house like that, you cannot add any value. The goal as an investor is to always walk into a property that needs work, that you can add value to. That way, once you repair the house, the after repair value of the property is going to be a lot higher than what you paid for it. So in this case, if I were to walk into a brand new house and it needs nothing, unless I get an amazing deal, which in today's market, that's very hard to find on a brand new house, a lot of times you get really good deals on properties that need a lot of work. So in this brand new house, if I purchase it, I cannot add any value. I'll be paying retail. I'll be getting nothing in return for my investments. Whereas with this property, it needed everything. It didn't have anything. It didn't even have walls, right? So I'm walking into something that I can literally add anything to. If I want 5 bedrooms, I can have 5 bedrooms. I can do whatever I can as long as the county allows me and as long as the size of the lot allows me to be able to add to this property. So I can add as much value as I can to the extent of the lots and the county's allowance. And that's exactly what I did. I purchased this property for $205,000. That was the purchase price for just this abandoned looking house. I put in about $225,000 of my own money to fully renovate it, turn it from this haunted property into something nice, something modern, something livable. So at this point, I'm all in about $430,000 into the deal. We just had the property professionally appraised by an appraising company, and the appraisal came back at around $630,000. That's the valuation of the property once it's complete, which means that I spent $430,000 and the appraisal came back at $630,000. That means that I've added $200,000 in equity or in value in this property. Whereas if I were to walk into a brand new house, I could not have been able to do that. So that's your crash course on real estate investments. Now, question number two is, why did I convert this into an Airbnb? If I have all this equity, why not just sell it right away and get the equity out of the property? Well, it's a funny story, also a sad story. Last year when we finished this property, as soon as fall started. And if you know anything about real estate, the fall market is the slowest season of the year. We just got hit with inflation. Interest rates went from an all-time low to an all-time high, and everybody was just scared. Nobody really wanted to buy a property. So I knew if I listed this house fall of last year, no way was I getting that $630,000 for the property that I thought it was valued in. No one in that area was getting approved at that amount with those interest rates. So instead of waiting from fall of last year until the spring market this year, which the spring market is supposed to be the busiest season in the year, instead of sitting on the property and doing nothing with it, why not just convert this into an Airbnb? That way, I can get some sort of my money back from the property until I get it back into the market. Let's talk about the Airbnb process. What does it take to convert a abandoned looking house into a fully furnished, fully functioning Airbnb? I want to preface this by saying that not every market is Airbnb-able, if that's even a word. You cannot really Airbnb everything. So it's not like you have a property in the middle of nowhere and you're like, all right, I'm going to be sitting on this, let me Airbnb it. You have to do your due diligence. The reason why I knew I could Airbnb this property and I knew that was going to generate me income was because I had a market for it. So I did my research. I'm 7 minutes away from downtown, right? That's number one. I'm about 5 minutes away from a very, very known college campus. Number two, there's a lot of eateries and restaurants and things to do in my area. Walking distance, you can go to a lot of very nice restaurants. So I knew that people wanted to be around that. I'm very close to a very large amusement park. I'm very close to very nice hikes and outdoor activities that people can do. So there's a big market and a huge list of things that people can do in my area. I also knew that a lot of times in the area that I'm in, people like, because there's so many nice, sceneries and hikes and things, people like to do their weddings there, right? There's nice wedding venues. Again, there's nice scenery where you can take your pictures. And when you have weddings, you have large families that want to come, and large families like booking large houses that are nice. The other reason why I wanted to go into the Airbnb market is because when I did my research, I saw that in that market, there was no luxury Airbnb properties. So this was a good way for me to kind of insert myself into the luxury Airbnb space in that market. I'll be the first one to do that. My competition was small houses or apartments, and I knew if somebody was willing to pay $180 a day for an apartment, they're gonna pay twice that for my property, but then at the same time get 3 times the value. So number one, I knew that my house was a luxury property and there was no other luxury properties in that area, so I knew that I had the market for it. Number two, I was very close to all these attractions, all these downtown, the amusement park, hikes, and everything that people want to do. So I knew that there was that market for my Airbnb there. And number three is go ahead and talk about the furnishing process of an Airbnb. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never furnished an Airbnb. I've furnished a house before, but I've never had to furnish a rental property. But I do know that with a rental property, your goal has to be to furnish it, make it look nice, but at the same time, make sure that the furniture that you buy is durable, because it's inevitable your tenants or your guests, they're not going to take care of your furniture. They're going to abuse it. They're not going to take care of it like it's their own. So the furniture is going to go through a lot of abuse, and you want to buy something that's going to withstand that abuse. So in my case, what I did was I wanted to make sure that the furniture was nice. I wanted it to fit the aesthetics of the property. It was a luxury house. I needed the furniture to look pretty premium, and I set a certain budget. I want to be under this amount to be able to fully furnish the house. My budget was $15,000. Now, to a lot of you, that might not be too much, and to some of you that might be a lot, but to me it just felt right on par, because again, I wanted to make sure that it looks premium but not at a budget unfriendly cost. So about 50% of my furniture was from Wayfair. Wayfair sometimes has quality items for cheap. 40% of it was from Amazon. Same thing, Amazon sometimes has quality parts that are cheap that gets shipped to your house. I don't have to worry about, getting shipped, paying for shipping, things like that. A lot of times of shipping with Wayfair and Amazon, they're free. So I was saving shipping costs on that end as well. And about 10% of my furniture was from Facebook Marketplace. I chose Facebook Marketplace because a lot of times, honestly, I should have bought more items on Facebook Marketplace, because sometimes you can find very nice deals on very good furniture on the marketplace. For example, I bought a Pottery Barn sofa that cost $3,000 on their website. I got it for $600. I bought this very thick granite countertop dining table set that retailed around $2,000. I got it only $500. So that in itself, I bought $6,000 worth of furniture for a little over $1,000. So once you have the market for it, you furnish the house. Once the home is furnished, you create your listing. And honestly, the listing you don't create. At the time when I created this listing, I didn't even know about ChatGPT. I had to write everything myself. You now have AI that can do a better job than I probably did on my listing. So take advantage of ChatGPT, you're welcome. AI can write your listing for you. Let's go ahead and talk about the Airbnb numbers. Since I'm a luxury property, my price range per night is anywhere between $375 a night to $400 a night. So let's just say with an average price of $385 per night. Now, if you take a look at the Airbnb application, go to the calendar. The month of April, I was booked 24 days. That's an 80% occupancy rate, which is really, really good. So 24 days at $385 per night. That brings me in just booking earnings alone, $9,240 in just bookings. But with an Airbnb as a host, I can charge my guests for other things too. Let's say a guest has pets. I also have a pet fee as well. Let's say a guest wants to bring in more people than the reservation states. So my rule of thumb is I can only fit and sleep around 11 people in the house. But a lot of times if a guest brings in more than 10 people, anybody beyond 10 people is $15 per night per head. So that's an extra fee that I charge a guest. There's a lot of different fees that you can charge a guest if you think it's fair of you to charge them. So in this scenario alone, so I brought in $9,240 in just booking fees alone. And looking at the application, there's around 4 or 5 different bookings. So some of these are Airbnb, outside of this property on Vrbo and other platforms as well. So we have Vrbo, we have Booking.com, we have Airbnb. So these bookings are coming in from a lot of these other platforms, which my Airbnb calendar is synced to them. So 24 days I'm booked from different platforms at around $385 every single month. And there's around 4 or 5 different reservations, which means that each of these guests will have to pay me a cleaning fee alone. The cleaning fees that I charge my guests for longer than 2 nights is $250. That means those 5 reservations also paid me $250 as well. So $9,240 plus almost $1,250 on top of that as well. That's over $10,000 in just bookings and only cleaning fees that I earn in the month of April. This is not considering other fees that I can charge my guests, like for pets, other things that you can charge them for. I think from haunted to abandoned properties now being a luxury Airbnb that generates me over $10,000 a month, that is actually not bad. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget like and sub, and as promised, let's go ahead and take a look at the before and after montage.